All right, good evening. Welcome to the Texas Association of College Admissions Counseling College Fair. We are so excited that you're joining us. We have some wonderful institutions that you're going to hear from. Just a few housekeeping items. You have the ability to ask questions through the Q&A feature in Zoom, so please feel free to do so throughout our college presentations. Just one tip, if there is a specific college or university you're wanting to hear from, make sure that you kind of let that institution know. That way you get the best information possible. In this webinar, your camera and microphone are off, so we cannot see or hear you. So feel free to utilize that Q&A feature as the primary means to communicate with us. There are more sessionings happening tonight as well as tomorrow through this college fair, so please register for those so that you can get as much information as possible. And then finally, we will have recordings available about a week or so after these presentations wrap up. So if there's an institution you're not able to hear from this evening, you can certainly make up for that through a recording. So without further ado, we are now going to turn it over to our first institution, which is going to be Louisiana Tech University.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for joining us today. My name is Catherine Morris with Louisiana Tech University, and I'm the coordinator of regional recruitment based in the DFW area. So if you live in DFW or North Texas, I serve as your admissions counselor. So if you're unfamiliar with Louisiana Tech, we are a public mid-sized university in Reston, Louisiana, which is in the north central part of the state. We are also mid-size, which for us means we're about 12,000 total students. And we're also conveniently located around 4 hours from DFW and 5 hours by driving from the Houston area. According to U.S. News and World Report, we had the highest incoming GPA of our freshman class, the highest starting salary of new grads within the state of Louisiana, and also the shortest time to degree completion within the state of Louisiana at 4.1 years. And that's largely due to our quarter system, which is our unique approach to learning. So instead of 2 semesters, we operate on 3 academic periods or quarters. So you take less classes at a time while also accumulating more hours quickly in order to graduate faster, right? So again, I think I describe Louisiana Tech as a big, small school in that you have the opportunities of a large research university while having some of the benefits of a smaller, more relational culture. We have over 100 different degree areas, 160 different campus organizations, NCAA Division I athletics, but you also have one-on-one advising, and you'll bump into people that you know walking to and from class. So I think for me, I loved that you have the best of both worlds. So how do I get in and how do I get money, right? Two of the most important questions that you'll ask. So our admissions requirements are pretty straightforward. We'll look at your core curriculum and also your core GPA. We'll need a 2.5 core GPA. And then on the ACT, we'll look for an 18 in English and a 19 in math. On the SAT, we'll require a 510 in math and a 500 evidence-based reading and writing. Right, but you don't want to just get in, right? You want to get scholarships. So how do I get scholarships? So at Louisiana Tech, if you are looking to go out of state, we are an incredibly affordable option if you're wanting to go maybe outside of the state of Texas. And that's largely due to our Bulldog out-of-state scholarship. This scholarship requires a 2.5 unweighted GPA, as well as a 23 ACT or an 1130 SAT. This waives the cost of out-of-state tuition, lowering the cost to our in-state rate at around $10,000 per year. Additionally, we have merit-based scholarships that start at about a 3.0 and those same test scores or higher. Additionally, we make it really easy for you in that our application opens June 1st, and your application for admission also doubles as your scholarship application. So, okay, so you know how to get in, you know how to get money. So what do you want to study? What do you want to do? What do you want to major in? Louisiana Tech has a lot of different opportunities for you. We are most well known for our engineering programs. Our engineering programs are unique in that we have a first-year engineering curriculum where you are actually taking engineering courses your freshman year. It's called Living with the Lab. So if you're interested in any type of engineering, you can know that in your freshman year, you are taking actual engineering courses. Additionally, we have the only accredited bachelor's in forestry program in the nation, or excuse me, not in the nation, in the state of Louisiana, with a 900-acre farm on our campus, and also a pre-vet animal science program that is highly ranked within the state of Louisiana. Additionally, if you're interested in the world of business, we have lots of opportunities for real world simulation, like our student managed investment fund, where our students have $1 million of money to invest and learn how to use on the stock market. Additionally, we have our Bulldog marketing consultants if you're interested in brand management and marketing, and you'll partner with real clients in order to conduct consulting within marketing. Additionally, we have our elementary education program, which has been ranked in the top 10 in the nation. And we also have the #1 kinesiology program in the state of Louisiana. If you're interested in architecture, this is actually our architecture building behind me, as you can see, which is a great example of, it's one of the prettiest buildings on our campus, and so glad that it hosts our architecture program. Additionally, if you want your classroom to be the skies, we also have our professional aviation program. Which you get the full college experience while also becoming a commercial pilot within 4 years. This is the only major on our campus that has a unique admissions requirement, so please contact me if that's something that you're interested in. So it's kind of as easy as 1, 2, 3, right? If you're a junior, you can apply over the summer. You'll submit your ACT or test scores or SAT scores and your high school transcript. If you have any questions, I would love to I'd love for you to contact me, and my contact information is on the screen, so you can snap a picture or message me in the chat, and I'd love to answer any questions for you. Additionally, I want to let you know that we are open for visits. So if you're interested in coming over spring break or this spring or this summer, we would love to host you on our beautiful campus in Ruston, Louisiana. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Great, thank you so much. And again, just as a reminder, if you have any questions for any of our colleges or universities, please send those through the Q&A and make sure to direct those specifically at the school that you are wanting to hear from. Moving right along, we are now going to hear from Loyola University of New Orleans.
Hello, welcome, good evening. My name is Ricky Alarcon, and I'm with Loyola University in New Orleans. Again, I am also a regional representative. I live here in North Texas, covering the whole state of Texas, and we love Texas students here at Loyola. Next couple of minutes, I'm going to talk about who we are and the programs that we offer. We are a small university, private Jesuit school located in the city of New Orleans, just about probably like 15 minutes away from downtown. As you see here, our average class size and our student to faculty ratio, but we are roughly under 3,200 students, and we offer 110 different programs. Here is our kind of a breakdown of our class of incoming freshmen. You notice we do get quite a few students from out of state, almost half. A lot of our students are first generation students. And then the female male breakdown for this year very leans towards the female side. And of course, our students of color, I think that just matches a diverse culture that's here in the city. So really quickly, I do want to talk about the programs that we offer, because I know I have a limited amount of time. We are separated into 3 different colleges, the College of Arts and Science, College of Business, and the College of Music and Media. Our most popular programs are going to fall into the music and media realm, filmmaking, music industry studies. We also offer the traditional performance music, vocal music, but we also have some programs that are kind of hard to find, design, journalism, music therapy, and so forth. Our #2 area is probably our business department. We are a port city, and we are located in the Gulf of Mexico, at the southern end of Louisiana. So our city is very heavy on trade and commerce. So accounting, management, those are pretty popular. 3 is our health sciences. We do offer the traditional chemistry, biology, We just are going to start offering nursing for those students that want to do nursing. And of course, the pre-med to get you ready for medical school. 4 psychology, and 5 is criminology. So those are our top 5 areas. But of course, we do offer a little bit of everything. Being a liberal arts school, we do encourage our students to put their hands and try different subjects, and double majoring and adding minors to your program is highly encouraged. So here's a list of some of our programs that we offer here in our arts and sciences, and then our business, some of our other business programs, and again, our music and media program. We do offer a lot of opportunities for our students to study abroad, to visit the world, internships, and of course, our honors program for those students with higher academic performance. We do have an honors program where students will more or less take classes in even a smaller setting than the traditional classroom. The last few minutes I would want to spend just talk about our admission criteria. As you notice here, we are test blind, meaning that we do not look at test scores for the upcoming year. We just saw that students were having just a difficult time getting those exams and getting canceled, rescheduling. So what we're doing here is we're going to do a holistic review, focusing a lot on the high school transcript, looking at the rigor, what kind of classes the student has taken, AP, pre-AP, honors. We will look at the application, look at the extracurriculars. We will look at your essay, which is this private statement, and then personal statement. And then we will ask for letters of recommendation from your teachers and counselors. You notice there's no application fee. We are on the common application. There's no application fee. And here are just our deadlines just to keep in mind as you move forward throughout the next year. Early action, November 15th, but priority deadline for those students that are trying to get scholarships, February 15th. If students want to go into our fine arts program, there are a couple of additional portfolio or audition that's required, and I'll be happy to talk to you about that. So we do have scholarships available for students in music and media, but also our merit scholarships start at $11,000 and go up to $23,000 for 4 years. And we also have some great scholarships for leadership, students that are involved in community service, and I'll be happy to talk to you about those later on. But 90% of our students do receive financial aid. So with this extra time, I'm going to go ahead and give that back, but we are open for tours. We do have in-person and virtual tours. So I highly suggest reaching out to me, kind of see what we have to offer you here at Loyola, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. And with that, I'm going to hand it over. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you so much. And again, just as a reminder, feel free to send in any questions that you have of any of our institutions joining us this evening. Moving right along, we are now going to hear from Lynn University.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much for the introduction. I'm excited. My name is Federico Glitman. I am one of the admission counselors here at Lynn University. And behind me, that's Timmy. He's from South Africa. I am from Argentina. We're gonna have a great time now. So here's what I really want you to focus on. You shouldn't be looking at acceptance rates as you're looking at institutions, but rather you should really be focused on the 3 C's: the community, the culture, and the career placement. And that's something I really wanna emphasize here at Lynn University in Boca Raton, Florida. We are the #1 area for most international students in the South. We have over 40,000 college students, but most importantly, we're the 12th fastest growing metropolitan area in the United States. And what that means to you as you come from Texas to Florida is we have a 92% career placement based on our innovative curriculum that we provide. And I'll be talking about that very shortly. We are a small institution. You can be a big fish in a small pond. What I really want to focus on is how Lynn University pivot during COVID-19. We are actually the only school in the state of Florida that all of our students can get tested for free on campus, and we do about 50 tests per day, and we just went into a new block schedule. So all of our students will only take 1 or 2 courses every 4 weeks, and it's only Monday through Thursday. So once you're tired, you'll have Fridays off, 3 miles from the beach. We're right between Fort Lauderdale and West Palm Beach. But when you're tired of that class, in 4 weeks, you'll take a new one. So once more, you're really gonna be that big fish in a small pond. Not to scare you, but it takes an average student 5.5 years to graduate college. At Lynn University, you can actually finish in 3 years instead of 4, and we will pay 30 credits for you to finish early. All of our students receive an iPad Pro because our philosophy at Lynn is just because you're in a classroom for 2.5 hours, the world doesn't stop. So it's a new, interactive, and engaged way of learning. There's no graduate assistants, there's no teacher's assistants, there's no lecture halls. Everything is taught by students, taught by faculty members. So in November, as we were going through the presidential debate, every morning they would see, what did Donald Trump tweet? What did Joe Biden tweet? How does that impact the societal, the global, and the economic issues in the United States? We do have 6 colleges. Our most popular one is our College of Business and Management, because we have over 1,500 multinational corporations in the local area. Many of our students from Texas look at Lynn for sports management. Our students have worked the Super Bowl, the Olympics, the World Cup, and almost every major event you can think of, including the NCAA Final Four, and in your own backyard in Austin, the X Games. If you want to become a pilot, we do provide you the opportunity to get your private, commercial, and instrumental rating. And our students, if you're that creative mindset, worked on the largest grossing film in history. They worked on the Marvel's Endgame, and they were hired by Marvel Studios right after that. So once more, at Lynn, you're that big fish in a small pond, and there's no engineering, no architecture, and no nursing. Everything else we do provide. Now we have a unique core curriculum. Rather than take your first 2 years of English, math, and science and then start your major, at Lynn, you actually start your major from day 1. The first 3 replace your traditional English courses. So some fun courses you'll take now: Breaking Bad, From Oedipus to Oprah, Black Lives Matter. And we ask you those questions: does anti-Semitism, and is there a racial movement right now in the United States? And if you don't believe, why? If you believe so, okay, how can we find solutions to that? Quantitative reasoning replaces your traditional Math 101 course. We will teach you how to manage a checkbook, mortgage a house, and finance a car. And then for scientific literacy, we will show you why is it every time that you go to the beach, the water's just a little bit closer to inland. So after your first year, English, math, and science fully become embedded into your degree, which is why we are proud to announce we have a 92% career placement, even in the midst of this global pandemic. We do have 6 residence halls. For those that like to eat, our cafeteria will be reopening for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it is unlimited meals. One of my favorite traditions on campus is that our president loves Game of Thrones. So he took the Game of Thrones inspired course because he wanted to. So every year for the State of the Union, he changes our dining commons, and it actually becomes Game of Thrones inspired, ice sculptures, medieval food, amazing food trucks. So once more, this is why at Lynn, you're going to be a big fish in a small pond. This is just some of my contact information. We know that if sports are important for you in your life, we're an NCAA Division II school. We have 25 national championships. That is our actual classroom with our faculty members. Our classes are no bigger than 14 students per class in the midst of COVID-19, but you're still gonna have that individualized approach. You're gonna have that innovative curriculum, and you're gonna have that international diversity that, here's the best part, only 20% of students are from Florida, so your roommate and your classmates can't leave during the weekends. But at the end of the day, I hope I gave you a better idea of why Lynn University is one of the most innovative, international, and individualized institutions in the United States. There's my contact information. Hope to hear from you soon.
Great, thank you so much. And moving right along, we are now going to hear from the Catholic University of America.
Perfect, thank you so much. Well, thank you all for joining us this afternoon. My name is Kevin Medina. I'm one of the senior admission counselors at the Catholic University of America, which is right in our nation's capital in Washington, D.C. So a little bit about Catholic U by the numbers. We are on the smaller side of institutions. We have about 3,100 undergraduate students, about 2,600 graduate and law students. About 80% of our students do self-identify as Catholic. That being said, you do not have to be Catholic whatsoever to attend the university. we're welcoming of all faiths, backgrounds, race, ethnicities. And currently we have students from all 50 states in the United States and 46 different countries. We have over 70 different majors, over 60 different minors and certificate programs. And as I mentioned earlier, we do try and keep everything relatively small with an average class size of 19 students and a 10-to-1 faculty ratio. We are a research-based institution doing it on a liberal core foundation. We are actually the second oldest graduate research institution in the United States. And what's great about that is that it is really bled into all of our programs at this point, and any student across any major can start participating in research as early as their freshman year, which is absolutely a great opportunity. As I mentioned, we are in our nation's capital, right in Washington, D.C., 3.5 miles away from the National Mall, and we sit on 176 acres of land, which you can get a kind of a better idea of what our campus looks like here. As I mentioned, we're on 176 acres of land, making us the largest self-contained campus in the city. However, that means that we are not the largest in terms of student. We're actually relatively small and student-based. Basically, what self-contained means is that all of our dorms, athletic fields, performing arts centers, academic buildings are all right on our campus. It also makes us the greenest campus in the city. The way that I typically will describe it to students is that we are a metropolitan campus, but only when they want it to be. Our students really do get the best of both worlds, where they get a traditional college campus environment, but then we also have our own metro stop directly on campus, and we're just 3 stops away from Center City. So you can have that fast-paced city lifestyle every day, every weekend, but you don't have to be surrounded by it 24/7. As I mentioned, we have 12 schools of study across all of our levels, but at the undergraduate level specifically, we have 9 schools of study, which are particularly highlighted by our School of Engineering, our School of Business, School of Architecture, as well as our School of Arts and Sciences and Nursing. Politics, obviously being in Washington, D.C., is our largest overall major, and we are also home to the only music, drama, and art school in Washington, D.C. As a part of your application, you're also automatically going to be considered for our University Honors Program. There is no separate application whatsoever. Students that are selected, it's about 10% of our applicant pool. They get a wide variety of different benefits, including honors housing, there's honors excursions, you take a specific amount of honors level courses, you get the opportunity to take a course with the president of the university, and there is an additional scholarship that goes along with your acceptance into the program. So this is kind of a general rundown of our application materials. We're going to be asking you to submit your high school transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation, the common application essay, as well as the Catholic University statement, which is basically just why you're interested in Catholic specifically. And we're really going to be looking at kind of the different types of courses you took, your progression throughout high school, activities, service, leadership, as well as if you are interested, you can participate in an interview. We do not charge any type of application fee, and we are starting this year and moving forward have moved to test blind. So it was described earlier, but we do not look at test scores, the SAT and ACT for any student whatsoever as a part of the application and as a part of the scholarship review process. And that really just boiled down to an access issue that we saw as a part of COVID-19. Here's a brief overview of our application timeline. Application will open up August 1st. November 1st and January 15th, we have 2 different deadlines, and then students will find out their decision no later than January 1st and March 15th, respectively. May 1st is the national enrollment deadline. And similarly to our honors program, you are automatically going to be considered for all of our scholarships. There is no separate application for any scholarships. Last year, they ranged from $17,000 to $32,000 for our students. We also do offer a few full tuition scholarships for our highest achieving applicants within the pool, as well as a parish and a legacy grant, which is $4,000 and $1,000 respectively, for those students who are a part of a Catholic parish or have had their parent, grandparent, or sibling graduate from Catholic University. You're automatically, again, eligible for all these, and these will follow you throughout all 4 years attending Catholic. So what's next? Obviously, as your admission counselor, I'd love to stay connected with you all. Here's my email address. Follow us on our social media, as well as come see all of the awesome things we're doing in terms of our virtual tour, our virtual events that we're holding on campus, or doing virtually. And I will also note that we are hosting in-person tours. Obviously, being in Texas and us being in Washington, D.C., it is a little bit farther away. But if you happen to be in the area, we would love to have you on campus for, like I said, for a big tour. And Like I said, definitely stay connected. If you are interested in an interview, you can feel free to reach out to me at any point. I would love to get the opportunity to meet you kind of more in person. Thank you all.
Great, thank you so much. And now we are going to hear from the University of Louisiana, Lafayette.
All right, everybody. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette. My name is Emily Alleman. I'm a regional admissions counselor. On this call with me is my colleague, Abigail Torpy, who is also a regional admissions counselor. We are both located in Houston, Texas, and represents Texas. So explore possibilities, create memories, and find yourself here. I am going to share just a couple quick statistics with you guys. We have over 19,000 students attending classes both on campus and online. We have students from all 50 states and more than 70 countries. And our student to faculty ratio is 22:1. So we have a big school feel with very small class sizes. With more than 100 different undergraduate majors spanning 8 different colleges, we really want you to explore your academic passion while you're with us. Some of our top programs in no particular order are engineering, nursing, business, and education. And we also have pre-professional tracks for students that are interested in law school and medical school. So find yourself here. We have over 230 student organizations, including Greek life, student government, service learning groups, and special interest clubs. So basically anything you could think of, we have it. And if we don't have a club that matches your interests, all it takes for you to start one is you, 9 friends, and a faculty advisor. We also have a lot of traditions here at Lafayette. By far, our most popular is called Lagniappe Week, which is a French word that means a little something extra. So Lagniappe Week is a full week of student activities that kind of caps off our spring semester. So right before finals week, we boil over 20,000 pounds of crawfish for our students to enjoy, blow off some steam right before they hit the books for finals week. We are a Division I school and we compete in the Sun Belt Conference for sports, and all of our sporting events are free with your student ID. Louisiana.edu is our website, and I would encourage you to check it out if you haven't already. We have a nice feature right now under our admissions tab where you can take a fully virtual tour of our campus. So if you're unable to visit us, you can still kind of check out campus and kind of get the vibe. When you're ready to apply, you're going to visit apply.louisiana.edu. We're going to ask for 2 documents from you. The first one is a copy of your high school transcript, and then the second one will be a copy of your ACT or your SAT scores. And right now, for the month of March, we have gone ahead and waived your application fees. So if you apply now between now and the end of the month, you will not have to pay any type of application fee. So in a normal year for guaranteed admissions into the university, we're going to ask that you have an 18 or higher on the ACT English, a 19 or higher on the ACT Math. If you take the SAT, we will need a 500 or higher for reading and writing, 510 or higher for math, a 2.0 cumulative GPA, and meet one of the requirements listed below on the screen. Right now, we are encouraging everyone to apply regardless of if you meet those requirements or if you don't have your ACT or SAT scores. We're going to be considering applications on a case-by-case basis. So go ahead and apply even if you don't meet the requirements. You will notice that we do not have a separate application for scholarships. So once you apply to UL, we automatically consider you for scholarships. And we start offering student scholarships with a 23 ACT and a 3.0 GPA. Now, for our out-of-state students, we have several different scholarships. Our most popular is our out-of-state B waiver. So scholarships for those start with a 23 ACT and a 2.5 GPA. And then another popular one is our legacy scholarships. So this is offered to students whose parents graduated from any Louisiana university. You will automatically be considered for in-state tuition rates. So that, again, that's if your parents attended and graduated from a Louisiana university. So on the left-hand screen, I have a QR code if you want to take out your smart phone and scan it. It's going to link you to a website that captures some of your information so we can send you admissions brochures, scholarship deadlines, events that we have, and all that stuff. We also invite you to get social with us. You can find us on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. And last but not least, this is my contact information. So whether you want to give me a call, a text, send me an email, or schedule a one-on-one Zoom meeting, I'm here to answer any of your questions. So thanks so much for your time.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our college representatives. So what I want to do now is invite all of our representatives to go ahead and turn on their screens. And we're just going to give them an opportunity to share some of their infinite wisdom with students about kind of the process and then their institutions. So in the same order that we presented originally, the first question I want to ask is, what advice would you give to somebody going through the college search process? So we will start with our first institution.
Awesome. Well, one, it's a really exciting time. I know it can seem kind of stressful, but it's exciting. I think one thing I would say is be open and be curious. So be open to new universities that you may never have heard of. You might have heard of, you may have been familiar with some of the universities on this, maybe not all. Hopefully you take it with open hands, and also just be curious. Review your the major that you're interested in. Maybe if you read a book and you're like, oh my gosh, that career sounds cool, or you see something on TV, research those careers, ask questions. That's kind of some advice I would leave you with.
Yes, I would kind of just follow with that and, ask those kinds of questions. That's what we're here for. We're here to get you connected with our institutions. And, hopefully we have programs that you're looking for. And if we don't, I have a lot of great colleagues that I can refer you to. And so, again, just asking those questions. But again, like Catherine mentioned, look at those institutions. Do you want to go to a large city like New Orleans, or do you want to go maybe a smaller city or town? Is that your thing? Do you want to live, areas where the weather is hot and muggy like New Orleans, or are you looking for somewhere cooler and maybe the Northeast or northern states? So again, look at the things that you're interested in. Of course, be true to what your passions are. And the things I tell students is don't go somewhere just because your friends go there, or kind of again open your mind and look at those different institutions that are out there.
All right, perfect. I think I'm next. So I think the best advice I can give you is that this isn't a rat race. This really isn't a competition of who gets into what school, but rather your application should be a testament of who you've been the last 4 years and who you're planning to become in the next 4 years. There's over 4,000 different institutions in the United States. I don't believe essentially there's a perfect one, but there's a right fit school for you that's going to meet your community, your culture, and your career placement needs. But at the end of the day, don't compare yourself to every other student. You're going to find your own story and yourself during this whole process.
Yeah, so I would definitely agree with everything that was just said. And I think one thing that obviously we've all been dealing with is if you have the opportunity to visit a college or university on a tour, which is something that's a little bit more unique to us at this point, but if you do have that opportunity, even if it's not a school that you're necessarily sold on, I think it's really so important to at least get the chance to understand kind of what a college tour looks like, or what questions should I be asking. So if you do have the opportunity to do a tour or two, like I said, I think that can be really valuable. And just one other thing, just stay connected with your admission counselor. We're really all here to help you out and help the process be as smooth as possible. we are a resource for you and to try and help you answer those questions. So I think it's always really valuable to help to build relationships with whoever your admission counselor is, because they're probably just going to be working with your specific area that you live in.
Yeah, so I just want to repeat what everyone else has said. I think one of the biggest things that can make a difference is being able to visit your university, tour the campus, but also maybe make sure that you tour the city or the town that it's located in. Really see yourself there, and make sure that you can see yourself, living there for the next 4 years.
Yeah, I would agree as well with everyone, making sure you take advantage of all the information that you have available to you, even if you are unable to visit a campus, being able to do a virtual tour, being able to talk to a counselor or to maybe other students, if possible, who have gone there and getting their experience. Those are really great resources that you can have. So in the end, you're able to find not only a college you want to go to, but a college that really wants you as well.
Great, fantastic. And then now kind of reflecting back on your own campus, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus? If it's something you shared in the presentation, feel free to just further elaborate on that.
Yeah, so an event I love is kind of begins and finishes your career at Louisiana Tech. So the night before classes start on your freshman year, there's a freshman convocation that is only available for freshmen. No upperclassmen are allowed to attend. And you actually, you kind of get hyped up, for your first day of class, but you also receive a medallion with +4, so the year that you will ultimately graduate. You'll receive it after leaving the event. You'll actually deposit it into Our Lady of the Mist, which is the fountain in the center of our campus. And then, you don't see it for 4 years, but then when you do walk across that stage when you graduate, you'll receive that medallion with your graduation year on it, just to symbolize kind of the beginning and the ending of your career at Louisiana Tech and the investment that you make in your education. And I know it's just a memorable mark to kind of the beginning of a chapter and the closing of a chapter as well.
So here at Loyola, New Orleans, we do a day, it's called Snow Day, and it's spelled SNEAUX, and I had to write that down because I didn't want to mess that up. But Snow Day is its occasion, our take on this Caucasian spelling. And what we do is in our front of our building, our administration building, there's a big open space, and they bring in these ice machines and they kind of make like this faux snow that we call it on campus. Because, we're in New Orleans, so, snow doesn't really happen here. And so what they do is they cover the grounds with snow. They invite the community, students, faculty, and basically it's like a big snowball fight, or they just build snowmen. So that's the kind of tradition that happens the first week of December. And I think it brings that community of that good spirit of camaraderie here in our campus. So again, I think that's that's my favorite tradition that we do here. Again, we're a very small campus, but again, we all have opportunities to do great things here. So our students really, especially if they come from the Northeast or up north, they kind of like to see that snow day here. So that's my favorite tradition.
So my favorite tradition at Lynn is actually that we don't have a tradition, because as students arrive to campus, everybody's mindset changes every single year. So for example, when I was a student, my favorite one was we used to do a 5K cutter run. But as a new class kept evolving and kept coming in with new cultural perspectives, new philosophies, it went from a 5K run to a carnival on campus. So the great thing with us is, since we've only been around since 1991, we continue to adapt to what our students are asking for. So I guess at the end of the day, my favorite thing is that we're not consistent on that aspect.
So one of my favorite things about Catholic University and just being in DC in general is, if you've ever been to DC or know anything, you know that the cherry blossoms and the cherry blossoms blooming is very important to us. They're actually coming up. They say that they're going to be blooming in the first week of April this year. So it changes from year to year. But it is kind of one of the big events happening in DC. It brings people from all over the world to come to DC to see the Cherry Blossom Festival. One of my favorite parts about Catholic specifically is that we have a bunch of cherry blossoms all over our campus. So right around that same time in April, as kind of the whole city starts to bloom, so do they on our campus. And it really just, like I said, amplifies the beauty of our campus. And we have our own kind of mini Cherry Blossom Festival on campus as well.
So one of my favorite events, it isn't unique to UL's campus, but it's called the Big Event. It is a day of service. And I think it really highlights kind of the Cajun community that is very present in Lafayette. So you are working with students shoulder to shoulder, going out into your community and in your campus and doing some service work. And it's always a fun morning. And it's just a fun day to give back to your community.
I know for me, this isn't, football's not necessarily like a specific thing to UL, but we're the only school with the name of the Ragin' Cajuns. So cheering on any of our sports teams is always just a really exciting time. I'm, particularly thinking like football in the fall, because everyone for the most part is just getting on campus and getting used to things. And particularly years like this, even when you're not a student, like our football team ended up finishing like number 15 in the polls, which it was just really exciting time for everyone to feel that kind of like Ragin' Cajun pride, like all through campus because of those. So that was a really fun experience.
Great, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for those of you joining us this evening. And thank you so much again to our college representatives. We hope that you found this information very helpful as your college search continues. Just a few quick things. There's going to be a very quick survey that you can complete after you exit this webinar, just to kind of let StriveScan know how this event went so that we can best plan for these in the future. There are additional sessions happening right after this, as well as tomorrow through this Texas Association of College Admissions Counseling Fair. And so please register for those so that you can get as much information as possible. And then we will have recordings within about a week, and you can view those at strivescan.com/Texas. So again, thank you so much to our college representatives for joining us, and to those of you tuning in as well. And we hope that you have a great rest of your day.